Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh my God, today we have a phenomenal artist, singer, songwriter, creator, dancer, survivor, and voice for Black artists, the Golden
Oh,
Heart of Redemption, Miss Second
oh,
Line, and member of one of the biggest girl groups in history, Danity
mm.
Kane, the unstoppable beauty, our friend, Dawn Richard.
I
Welcome to
love you.
Optimism.
So many words, guys. I love you. I miss you. I miss you.
We miss you. But we've been
Mm.
seeing you doing all the things. She's
I'm
both
trying.
busy and ready.
Oh, thanks, guys. I miss y'all. I miss my hair. Last time we were together, I had this. Y'all gave me the best mohawk of all life. That's still one of my favorite looks.
Oh my God. I miss you too. I think about that all the time, Dawn, because I feel like it was just such a fun experience because I loved your guidance, and Coco and I talk about just like the professionalism in all industries, right? But especially in entertainment, it can there's some highs and lows with some people that you work with. And we've been so blessed to, have you in our life and just work with such an amazing creator like yourself. And when we were doing that mohawk for you, him and I had so many like sessions, alone or like, okay, is she gonna like this? I mean, what do you think of this? And then it's like once we jumped on a call with you, once we shot you a message, it was like your guidance in creating something was so sweet. And your direction was so like
You made me
detailed
cry.
and I don't know, it just gave us.
Just so collaborative. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
that professionalism that everyone should aspire to, because that is like, we're all here to collaborate in the end, correct?
I
And
love you
it's
guys. Love y'all so much.
And that and going, I mean, I don't know. I felt like I was just being at the music festival with you and being backstage and being part of your energy, like to see like where it all comes from, right? And then like I don't know, I was screaming, I was screaming. Like,
You know what's so cool too? Like people don't realize, and I want to say this because y'all are the best. It wasn't just the mohawk. We textured the mohawk because I wanted it to be a Black woman in a mohawk. And that is not easy. And the way in which you guys, number one, usually one hairstylist does it, but the fact that you talk about collaboration, it is very difficult to have lovers who are married and who are like partners to then work together to create something that is something unique and different. And the way you said it worked was you give off love, you give off respect to one another. And so we created something that was not only like cool, but also very difficult to do. And it was phenomenal because it wasn't just your average punk style. It was Black punk. And I want people to know that like Black, that is for the gods, baby. Like I will forever love that look because there was layers to how exceptional that was. And you guys did it not only as professionals, but also as partners. And it just showed how love can be poured into your art. And so I love y'all for that because it shows how you can do both. And you do it beautifully. You do it beautifully. Just want to give you your flowers.
thank you.
too many things. In that process specifically, I just really want to put some love on the way that you work, because there are a lot of people we work with, but every time we work with someone new, it's like I go in with like this, like, okay, like the way Dawn does it, that's how like I want to work with people. I want to like you to be like, hey, I don't like that. Let's do this. Let's keep it moving. Not, it's a positive interaction back and forth, right? It's love. And that's especially as we move into this next new chapter of the world and what we're doing, we all need to be there for each other so much more than we have in the past. You know
I
what I
agree.
mean?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I love that. I know. I do too. I just have to like, go back to like the day that we met because, there's so many people that I get to meet that I've always just admired or been a fan of. And when I walked into Ted Gibson's salon, and I didn't really know who was going to be there, but it was Don Richard. And it's like you've been in my life for so long, since making the band, and Danity, Kane, and it's like you were already in my heart, and like when I saw you, all I wanted to do was like hug you, and be like, oh, that's my like best friend from high school,
Because y'all know us. You grew up with us. Yeah. Of course you should. Yeah.
And it was just so sweet. And like, I don't know, it just takes me back because it was like, it's so meaningful, and it's like, I was like, how is this happening? This is so special. It's like such a blessing, and from that point on, it's just been these amazing work projects with you, just seeing you like keep blooming and blooming and creating. And I don't know, it was like, I admire that so much.
Thank you. And thank you for being open, because like you grow. Like I never thought that I had like my little crew of who I would do hair and makeup with, and this was so new for me to come out of my comfort zone. I'm a Leo through and through, so like I'm loyal. Once I'm with somebody, I'm like, boom. And I was coming into something new by exploring you guys. And what I found was a safe haven. Like we talked and we hung out and we laughed, and I was open and felt safe. And I think that like when you talk about wanting to have professionalism and all the things, you also need to like, you guys create something rare within the salon, and also in Black culture. And I don't know if this is in your culture as well. The salon is a safe haven. You tell all your business, you gossip, you feel safe, you do all the things. And I felt like I hadn't had that environment in a very long time. And you guys created this like nostalgic, like old school, like where you go in a salon and it's like church, or it's like, it's like your favorite people and you just talk and hang out and you feel safe enough to just do all the things. That was the first time I felt like that. And I had just met you and I had felt so safe to just unload. We started talking about life, your relationships, your child, like the way in which you came a part of being parents. And I talked about my DK journey and like dirty money and all the things. And it was so easy to like be honest and open with you guys in that space. And we were strangers. And overnight I felt like we became family. So yeah. That's what a salon should be.
Yes.
That's the vibe, right? And then so when you don't see it,
that's what it should be. It don't always be that. But
that's like how we work is like, we don't work with everyone because it's like when you sit with someone, within the first like minute if this is going to be a good relationship situation.
Or it's gonna be, yeah, exactly.
And I'm okay with being like, maybe you should like, like let me guide you a different direction. It's all that because I know what's,
hey,
I know
so
and I also know what I can. So
that's same. Yeah. That's fair. Like you can also say, and like I already know what this is gonna be. I don't have that discernment. I walk in like like everything's gonna be great, and then wind up getting caught up in flames. You can only hope you get somebody to tell you, nah, that's not it. But in this case, I felt like this was a good one, and I was like, okay, I can bear my soul if I go out up in flames. You guys gave me safe space.
I love that.
I do too. I do too. I mean, I want to touch base because Danity Kane is on the Untold Chapter tour, or they come back together, and you're not on stage with them, and I love, and I feel like even though you're not there, you are there because Don Richard, you created the name Danity Kane, and to me,
I did.
I look at it as like you are the overall mother.
Ooh.
You are the creator.
I'm not doing this with y'all.
You're allowing the dolls to play, right?
No, I'm not doing that.
Like, no. And mother, she's gonna show up. But how are you doing?
No, I'm good. Yes, I did come up with the name, but the name is for all of us. I'm not like that we built the name together. It is a brand. I don't agree with the way I've been betrayed. I am not the things. If you know me and you guys know me, I would never hurt anyone. I would never talk ill of someone. I would never, I'm not that person. So the narrative that has been spun about me is not correct. It's a lie. but that's life. And I'm not someone that's going to go on. I've never been this person to like talk ill of the brand and that doesn't benefit the fans to go and fight and go in on podcasts and talk negatively. That's not the place. You know what I mean? We have to talk to one another. We have to be honest, all of us. You know what I mean? Like I nowhere near to say that I'm perfect, but I am not the person that they are saying that I am. However, we are here, and I wasn't involved. I was iced out of this one, and that's a choice. But I'm not gonna go back and forth and be messy and like call myself the mother. No, I wish it could be all five of us. I wish we could be honest and apologize for the ways in which we've treated each other on all fronts, like not just making it a me thing and I'm a villain and I'm the one that always fucks it up. That's not the truth. You know, we all have to take accountability for what and also the horribleness of our trauma. That's a part of it too. We were treated horribly by an abuser. That is a real thing. And we have to acknowledge that. But here we are. I am saddened by the reality that it can't be all five. Will we get to a place? I don't know. But right now, fans really just want to see music. They just want to see it is. All I can do is do what I have been doing since I started this. I have always done Danity music. I've always done it. Even in 2011, I've always tried to show love to the brand. And I've tried to do it in the best way I know how. Like good production. I've tried to like spend my own, even when it's trauma. Even when I don't really love doing these songs because they bring back bad memories. I do it because the fans love it. So sometimes I think fans need to realize how traumatic this shit is. And like it ain't always like, yay, this shit is traumatizing. But we do it because we love them. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna talk bad about, that is not my character. I'm not gonna like shit on the brand. I don't agree with the way in which I've been portrayed. It's not true. We can have issues that happened 20 years ago, but we are grown. There's no reason that we should be nasty to one another. We were all hurt. All of us were in bad situations. But this is where we are. What I can do is do what I always do, which is try to do the best music, the best art. And if that's showing love to DK, that's what I'm gonna do. Dirty Money, all of it. I try to bring the positive out of the negative things that have happened to me in my journey. If this is where they choose to go with their journey, then go. You know, I'm not gonna shit on them for that. You know, I just am sad that I wasn't a part of it. And though they say that I am and that I was, we all know the reality. You know, we know it's not a hard thing to text and us to sit down and say, let's have a conversation. And I understand that that may not be where we are right now. And that sucks.
Hey, you know, thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you hold so much respect for all of the art that you've created with all the artists throughout your lifetime. And it's like, it's so commendable, right? Where does the negative come from? Like you're so positive, like you're such in a good frame of mind. Where does that come from on the other side? What do you think?
I don't think it's on the other side. I just think this not about us and them, and I want to make sure that narrative, it's not a me and them. I'm not like we're not a beef. This is not a beef. This is a trauma. Trauma looks like this. When you divide people, that's what it looks like. There's a root to this, right? We were in a really bad situation. I think what's bigger is narrative. I could hold this. I accountable here. I'm not good at fighting people like online. Like I get to a place where I get so here and I'm like my dad. I'll stay private, and then I'll hit a cap and then I'll wild out. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But for the most part, I don't do well with that. And because of that, when people say horrible shit about me, I don't respond because it's not who I am. So then a narrative gets created, right? Like, people will say, oh, you chose Dirty Money over Danity Kane. It's like, no, I was bought out of a contract and I was told that I couldn't leave. And I was threatened. right? But I didn't tell everybody that. I just did what I had to do to get out of it because I didn't feel that that was everybody's business. And people gonna believe whatever the fuck they gonna believe anyway, right? But in that created a narrative that, oh, Dawn chose something that, you know, over her sisters, which is, no, that's not the truth, right? When people say, oh, Dawn hates the girls or hates D Wood, that's not true. It's not true. I think she's awesome. But if I don't go every day online screaming at it, then the narrative gets picked that, right, they only believe whatever the one person says, right? If someone goes and says, oh, you hurt someone, in no world would I ever hurt someone I love. I just would never do that. I didn't do it with any fight that I've had in any situation. I've always tried to keep my shit tight. But in that, only one narrative gets picked. That's life. And so I can take accountability that I'm just not that person. So then a narrative gets picked about who I am, which is not the truth. It's not who I am. But I don't know how to be anybody else. And I'm not finna go online and just scream at every person that lies about. I'm not doing that. I'm just not. So people gonna believe what the fuck they gonna believe. But what I do know is I am never going to my dad. I am going to always show love to the people that know me. And those who know me know I would never be that person. That's the reality. But it's not a us versus them. It's not a beef. I will always love Danity Kane. I don't like the way I've been depicted, but that has nothing to do with the reality that what we did and what we do for fans are beautiful. Right. It's beautiful. Hold on, my dad is at the door. I love my dad, sorry. So you can use the restroom. You gotta use the restroom? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, it's my daddy.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I didn't even want to talk about this, honestly, because I just feel like people are gonna believe what they want, and it's never gonna be what I would hope it to be. And I ain't no victim. Like I never presented it like we all did bad. Like we all didn't help it. You know what I mean? Like we could have done this, but I have never hurt anyone. And if I did, I have always come and apologized for it. I've always, like, if I did wrong by somebody, I'd acknowledge it and be like, yo, which is why even when me and Aubrey, when we had our altercation, I apologized to her. And then after that, she worked with me multiple times, right? So like, there is no level of like, if it's something that's negative that I've done, I've always come to the plate being like, yo, this on me. If it's not the truth though, I'm not doing that.
I hear you.
Or I'm not acknowledging. Yeah, I didn't. If I'll say if I did something bad, but the stuff they saying that's not true.
Thank you for sharing and giving us a glimpse. And
that works.
It's meaningful, and you're such a great person. And I know you, and it's like I feel like you never stop creating, Dawn, and you never stop working, and that is proven is in your body of work. You know, you are a performer like no other, and just going back into like all of the albums and like, I don't know, even like your collaborators, and it's like, you know, we'll be, I don't know, cleaning the house and we have like your Spotify channel on, and it's just like, it's so like eclectic.
Yeah.
Like the wave and the ride, and I don't know, it's like, it's so special. Like you're such an amazing creator, and just keep doing that, because that outshines this, like, right? Like that outshines any of the negative all the time, because it's really the beauty of you creating from your heart, and that's what I love to see.
Thank you. And also collaboration. I hope it shows to people like, I love to work with people. Like and now you can see that in the bodies of work, that even working with you guys, like I love it. Like it's one of my favorite joys is to find talented people who are doper than me or match my level, and we exceed each other. Like we push each other and we like push the art. Like that's I feed off of that, and I always want to be a part of that. So I'm glad that you recognize the collaboration and the different levels of work that I've done, because that means something to me. I've always enjoyed working with people, and I'm glad that you guys even rocking with the Spotify channel and cleaning the house. That's awesome. I love that for us.
And it's so interesting because it's like sing, there's so many things that you do, right? But I love the way that every part of it matters to you. From your clothes to the hair to the makeup to the dances, you think about everything, you know? And the way that you think about it too, you're so loving with it. And I know I keep saying that word loving, but that is like who you are. You are this like your joy and love and like just like give me it so that I can give it to you too, because it's you wanna match that vibe. Like you said.
Man, you just nailed it. Just nailed it. And that's why I say yes to y'all, because I wasn't want no talk to nobody. I just my little feelings was hurt. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want really rock with nobody, because I just like want to stay in my little hole and do my art. But I say yes to y'all because I do believe you know me. And yes, that is, you just nailed it. I have all this love and I want to give it. And I want to like be intentional about how I give it. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to someone else, and even the way I do my shows, the ticket prices are never expensive because I purposely want to make sure those can afford it. I never charge for meet and greets because though I could be making money and I need to be making money, I think it's more important to meet every single person at the end of every show and give them love because they took the time to come to the show anyway, right? That is who I am at my core, right? And that intentionality, I think, is so much more important when people are hurting and they're going through shit and they need art to save them. I am one of those people. And so I try to give that off so that when people come out of something, they're like, yo, I see myself. I see you. I see myself. And it helps them. I feel like I make music for those people because I am that person. And I feel like that pay it forward is a karma that will be for you in the future. Like if you give that goodness off, it will come back to you. I come from a home like that. So I've sacrificed plenty of penny to make sure that love that you're talking about is given and felt so that it can be given back in return. And that's the kind of environment musically at my shows and in life that I want to give off. I want to give off light, hope. I want to listen to the music and feel hopeful. Even in its darkness, there is this hope, you know, and that's kind of always what I've tried to do intentionally with the way in which I do hair, makeup, all the things. Like in even working with certain people, if you pour into it in a positive way, the outcome will feel that way. The music will feel that way. People will feel joy when they're in the space.
And that's what you feel. I mean, that's what I feel. I can only speak for myself.
You can speak for yourself.
I mean, Dom, like looking back, is there any of like the albums or just any of the projects that kind of like stand in like, I don't know, like the top 2 or like the top 3 of like of your body of work that are your favorites?
I think my all of it, but the gold, black, and red era, the trilogy, like when I first got independent, was something monumental for me. I don't think people understood what that freedom was because I didn't articulate it to people. I spoke it in the music, but you will never understand how hard I had been trying to get out of the crazy of my journey, that when I finally got out, the lyrics and the music and the importance of that era was it, and it was like monumental for me, whether people got it or not. Like if you listen back to the lyrics, I was telling someone I was writing about David and Goliath. I was using a lot of scripture, a lot of Bible stuff. Like I was telling people the struggle in real time in my art, whether they were listening or not. I was saying what I was going through. And so like that therapy of gold, black, and red that solidified for me the type of artist that I knew I wanted to be. So that era will always be special for me because it showed me that I could stand on my own 2 feet, because I never wanted to be a solo artist. I always wanted to be a part of a band, always, never. So I never saw myself in that way. And that moment, that was the first time I ever saw myself as a solo artist, was the gold, black, and red era. That was the beginning of that for me. And even now, I feel my happiest when I have dancers and a group and a band behind. I've always loved that aesthetic. And but the albums that gave me my wings. And I will always be grateful for that era of my life, because I was alone a lot in the manufacture journey of my life when I was with those labels, and I was alone. And a lot of it was probably to my own doing, because I didn't really feel safe in it. But I truly felt like I had something that I was a part of when I was independent.
Wow. One of my favorites happens to be Second Line, because that was like the time that we started working together, and I feel like it's like an homage to like New Orleans, right? Or there's such like, it feels like it's you, it's like where you grew up, it's like your family, and I love listening to that album. I got to see you perform it, and I don't know, it's such a, what could you say about Second Line that we don't know?
I think people didn't realize how important it was for me to push a narrative that was, again, talk about narratives, that has been stolen from our culture, right? Black music was enveloped in dance culture. And you had your Donna Summers, Crystal Waters, you had incredible talent in house and dance, Freddie Knuckles, all these incredible, like Detroit house, Chicago house, a disco, like that was a part of dance music that was stripped, by white DJs, you know what I mean? And people started claiming dance music to be just one thing that wasn't Black. And I really wanted to pay homage to all the Black culture that cultivated dance music, whether that's ballroom, whether that's bounce music, whether that's the gay queer MCs of ballroom culture, like Honey Dijon and all these amazing like talents that were before us, right, that have been ignored. If you look at just like who wins awards and who were awarded the, like awards for dance music, Black culture has kind of been erased. The narrative has been erased. And it wasn't until like Kate Trinata, Beyonce, and a lot of others started getting seen in this space again. So Second Line really was me showing, and that came out in 2021, was me trying to say, yo, we've been here. And it was really kind of like a archival respect to Chicago, New Orleans bounce, Detroit house, the cultivation of dance music for Black culture. So that's something that I know I talked about, but I don't think people really understood how important it was for me to show that we were, I mean, personally, I think we just kind of, the narrative has gotten lost with why we should be in the space and why we were there long before, and we need to revisit that. And I think, doing that album, I was proud of it. And then the next year, Beyonce would then come out with The Incredible Renaissance, which would then cultivate the conversation even further, because she really honed in on, having a lot of the older staples on her album, and really talking about it. And so you've seen kind of like a flux now of the understanding of like all these people that have been there, been doing it, like that have been doing the things, like you're now seeing Love from FKA Twigs, and you're getting Sudan Archives, all these incredible talents that have been Kalila, all these incredible talents that have been doing this work, but maybe were unseen.
Wow. I love that.
I mean, amazing.
I mean, I just have to say it because
what do you gotta say, Coco?
I gotta say it. Can we just talk about enough? I know we're talking about the music, but like the album cover or the architect, that, can we talk about that? Because I last night I went real deep in it, and I was just like, wow, this is like I want that blown up and on my wall, because it is exactly, it's just beautiful.
Thank you. That's a big one. I'm a New Orleans girl, right? So hairdresses, sun ra, futurism, like that's a thing here in New Orleans. That's something that Galactic, another great band, My Father and Chocolate Milk, their Milky Way album cover is a Black woman with an afro and a see-through astronaut suit. Fucking gorgeous. Futurism, just gorgeous. The album was called Milky Way. I mean, it's one of my favorite covers from My Father's band. But I like you said, I want my albums to be posters. In The Architect, I'm glad you brought it up because most people sleep on that. The Architect was a 14-minute single. It was one single that was like continuous, and people thought it was an EP, but really it was a 14-minute song that evolved 3 times. And the cover was supposed to be an ode to Blade Runner and Octavia Butler. If you don't know, one of the black futurist authors of our time, and just playing off of like incredible aesthetic of how a face and a head could be the story of an entire city or world. The only other artist I've seen play with that for our time is the incredible Janelle Monáe, who leaned into Metropolis for when she did the Arc Android, which again, she's amazing and she understands it so well as well. I love the value of that in the same way. I lean into fiction. I lean into sci-fi. Blade Runner, again, is one of my favorite films. And I tend to lean into the dystopian world. And that is kind of what you see. As far as my album covers, they all tend to lean into the futurist idea of a New Orleans headdress. So if you look at Redemption, I had a steel headdress. It was made of metal. That is like a innovative version of what a Mardi Gras Indian headdress would look like in maybe 3052. You know what I mean? Like just really, and I've tried to play with the concepts of what that is. So a lot of my album covers lean into those stories, but they're all intended to be a poster or a book cover, like in that way.
And I love the attention. I've seen it now a few times. The attention to like the mouth, your mouth in your videos and the art, and I'm just like, yes, and then this new era that you're in with flags and like that with the, the grill and the it's just such a vibe. Because it's like when I looked at that, I'm like, this is what I saw, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't have to correct you. You've been 10 for 10.
Like, because the mouth is power, right? It's like we're the greatest thing that we have is our voice and our ability to like share a message, and you just share it like, and I love the attention. I just wanted to also say that I love the attention that you put on that,
Thank you. See it. You got it. And that was the reason why we had it's lip service, right? It's a mouth. Like I try to be intentional, even having the D and the King cards for King, and like have always played with masculinity. There is a reason why people don't gotta dig deeper. I didn't call myself King D because I had some type of ego. I call myself King because number one, I feel like I have both masculine and femininity within me. I've always I claim that. But bigger than that, I've been told and been stifled by men consistently. And I feel that in my journey that I can be king. I don't want a man to tell me. I've been told that many times of what I can and what I shouldn't be. So I've been very intentional when I came out that, I'm a king. I make the decisions of the journeys that I have. And that was very intentional. At that time, I needed to tell myself that because I was going through something where I kept feeling like this, right? And I was being called queen. Hey, queen. Hey, queen. But was being treated like trash. So there was an intentionality that when I came out, now I'm king. I'm king. Thank you. And so the world didn't need to get that, but I needed to get that. And that became a big moniker, which is why King Creole is a woman. It means that a woman can stand in her own just as much as anyone else. You get what I'm saying? And I needed to see that. And so that was why King D was so important to me. King Creole was so important to me. It was bigger than I needed to take back my power.
I love that living in both spaces because that's I can relate to you in that space so much that it's growing up and things like that. I, was told to be this or told to be that. And also like as a Leo moon and rising baby, I get that we
all of it.
We have to live in all these spaces because that is what makes us like understand ourselves fully, because that masculine and feminine energy is just two parts to this beautiful, delicious puzzle that we all are, Yeah.
I agree. And I never was afraid of it. I always recognized that others were afraid of it. And so they tried to stifle it. And I didn't understand it because I was too young. And I would always do this because that's a part of me too. Is like you know, just play your part, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. But as I got older, that's what I'm saying, the independent bag. When I got in that independent bag, that whole nah. It didn't like I got tired of being, I would try to shrink myself to fit in it when my spirit was bigger than that. And I didn't understand it, and I would feel so weird. And once I realized I'm not here to be this, I'm not shrinking in your boxes. And the freer and freer I got, the more I was like, nah, but that's okay. You know, it took me later to realize it, you know, and then when I got into it, I didn't never want to go back. Never.
And earlier you said
Yeah.
freedom, and that word was in one of my questions. Like, you know, like what is freedom to you in your industry, in your space now? Like, what would you say? And you're saying it, right?
I am it. Like, not only to survive, I'm tired of being a survivor. I've been a survivor my whole, like, fuck that. God is so good. God is so good, and I am a product of his blessings. But beyond that, I have been grateful enough to have the people who do get me surround me and keep me there and keep me grounded, because I do sometimes get hurt because I feel people don't recognize who I really am. But I think they're not supposed to, you know what I mean? Freedom for me looks like this. I am in it. I am in my freedom era. I do the music I want to do. I try to treat people great. I have a beautiful amount of, I have beautiful people around me. My family is healthy and they're okay and they're safe. And I pray to God every night. I can go to bed knowing that I did the best that I could. That is freedom. And I'm grateful for that era that I'm in right now. I don't need everybody else to get it. My God gets it. My family gets it. And if you are good to people and you continue to do the things you do for him and by him, you'll be all right. That's freedom. And that's the type of freedom that I want to sit in and stay in. I have lived in other people's worlds and tried to make it work. And it has not been good for me because it is never rooted in God. I want to be around things that are rooted in him. And when I do that, it is always beautiful. That's freedom.
I think that's so special, really, to hear. And you know, you shared, trauma, and I know it's not easy to talk about. And, for me, I feel like I've had a lot of trauma in my childhood growing up, and you could call it, surviving or just getting through life. Right. But for me, I'm in my second year of sobriety, and with that, I've come closer to God, right? And I love to share that with people. I love to talk about sometimes the most uncomfortable things, because if somebody can relate to me, if somebody can relate to your story, I feel like then we're helping someone, we're helping someone who's quiet about it, maybe get it out, right? So I really appreciate like that part of you, because you are outspoken, and we see you thriving, and we see how big your heart is. And I know for me, it's like my life has changed so much just in the past 2 years, right? I'm a better parent, I'm a better husband. I'm experienced creativity like I never have before in my life. I have good relationships with members in my family, right? But I'm not trying to be a victim or anymore, right? Like I believe in my program and my sobriety. I believe in God, and having that in common, with you and just people that are close to me, it's like, it's so special because our voice is so important, and you just don't know how far that's going to go or how far that will reach. So like, even today sitting with you, like, it's such a blessing to like hear your story. I haven't seen you in a while. Like, I'm dying to give you a hug and chit chat, but it's like, thank you for being here, and thank you for just like coming on with us, trusting us in this space, and really supporting us like through all these years, and sharing your voice. It's powerful.
That matters. I try to support those who have been good to me. Like I try to give my word and stay true to it. We have stayed in touch. We have, if I can't do something, I'll tell y'all. Like I've always tried to be good. And I think I've had some really good relationships because of it. And y'all are one of them. And that's what I mean by like, the world will not, you're not supposed to be for the world. You know what I mean? Like certain things are for certain people. This intimacy and this light, especially as you get older, God will start to massage and move things that benefit you for the best for you. I kept getting upset, like, why they don't get me? Why they don't get it? And I realized God said they're not supposed to, because these are not your immediate people. They're not supposed to get it. Those who love you and know you know him will get it. And that is where I'm at right now. And so when you speak of your freedom, I have to say I am so proud of you and I am so happy for you, because when you shift your life in the right way, your family shifts with you. You know what I mean? And you're doing that for your child, and he will grow in such a beautiful way, and it looks good on you. You guys look beautiful. And I just continue to pray that you go through that. And even in the hard moments, you see the beauty of what it means to choose yourself and choose your freedom and to choose him. And him can be different things for different people. I don't push God on anyone. Whatever that is for you is, you know, just, I know when I was in my worst, he came through. Like, I don't even know why I'm still here. I don't. It's been rough. But what I do know is to sit here and hear you say the things you have, you're an angel. That's God. To even hear you guys say the things you're saying in a time of some some of the negative, that's God. He know I needs to hear that. He knows he needs to surround me with that. And so I want to give it back to you by saying you are in the right space and you are loved and you are appreciated. And I'm very proud of you for what you've chosen to do. It's not easy to choose him. It's not easy to choose the hard way, right? Because it's hard to say, I ain't doing that, the bad shit. It's so easy to say, I'm just going to do the bad shit. It's hard to try to do something to go against what everybody else is doing. To try the good stuff. So I applaud you and I love you.
Thank you. We love you so much.
Too much. Too much.
Oh.
I had a question, but I feel like any question that was on this list that I had, you answered it, right? It's like, if I had a question like, are you a builder?
I wasn't finna do either. I'm just telling y'all getting the tea, because I wasn't finna, like, I just feel like I want to be squashed to all of this and move on. But for you guys, I will always be honest and always be open with you, because I do trust that you will see the truth in it. And I do want you to know I never want anything to be negative. It is never, it's all love. You know what I mean? And I want that. Yeah. So for y'all, anything.
Oh my God.
And
amazing.
You are like, so I had a question. It was builder, storyteller, disruptor. And then you started talking. I'm like, you were all of those things. How could you pick one right now? I mean, can you pick one?
No, I feel like I am all those things. I call myself a multi-hyphenate. I am a world builder, though. I try to build worlds for safe, I try to build safe spaces. And I do that because I know what it's not, what it's like not to have one. And so in my journey, I do believe my calling, bigger than music, anything else, is to build safe spaces for people that don't have them. And that's what I've tried to do, whether it's my, a food truck that's 75% queer and all women chefs, whether it's an animation built about stories of young girls who lose everything through climate change, whether it's, doing an album that talks about like confidence and loss, or whether it's just simply speaking on panels about the importance of Black culture and how we need to evolve as Black people in spaces that we don't see ourselves, or whether it's speaking at a queer convention to talk about the importance of the queer community in the industry. Anything I try to do, I try to open up safe spaces for people. That to me is my calling, and I use my talents to do that. So yeah, I believe I'm all those things, but at my core, I just want to create safe spaces.
And you so have. You so
Thank
have.
you.
We're all so grateful, and I'm just, this brings me so much joy. Yes.
Good. That's
What does the sweater say? I feel like if I'm like, leave me, what? Hey!
Leave me.
That's
Having
what
a
I'm
crisis. I did not know that. No, I didn't realize I was projecting my own journey on I just picked the first thing I could because I'm about to go with my dad's song. But it says, leave me alone.
That's
I'm
what I'm
having a crisis.
saying.
It's amazing. I wanted to ask you this question. Dawn, how do you find your quiet in a world full of noise?
I have it in my family. I have it in my parents. And I don't have to find it because they're there. I'm lucky. I got both of them. And when I be feeling like I'm spiraling, I call them and they're there.
Oh, flex, baby, ability.
Yeah. That's a flex to have both my parents of me. They met when they were 14 and they've been together ever since. And we fight. We do all the things, but that's it's four of us, me and my dad, my mom and my brother, and we are tight. We are a unit, and they have saved me a many a time, and I have been there for them in a many a time, and through the worst of it. So that blessing I don't ever take for granted.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And as you're in this era of flex, can you give us a little like love on that? Because I am just like,
yeah, no.
The hair. I mean, she's a hair queen. I got time.
The afro, the grills, all of it is very reminiscent of, again, before y'all met me when making the band. This is very like New Orleans at its core. It's very home, what I was long before all of this. And the flex, what I was saying was the flex was that people read, they don't know me, they'll listen to a song and say, oh, that's just a sexy song, but they're not getting the underlying part that it ain't even about the sexy part of it. The flex is that I have ownership over the way in which I want to move in something. And that's the sauce in it. So the flex is, the song, it doesn't even have a title. The flex in itself is that I'm still 20 years in, still doing what I love to do. That is the flex. The flex is that I still get to do this thing. And I get to talk my shit and do all the things that I want to do in music my way. And that ownership, the ownership and the equity is the flex. The equity is the flex.
Okay, you better give me the chills, honey. You just chilled it. Yeah.
The equity is the flex, and I think each needs to have that equity over whatever they do. That's the win. Is the ownership over whatever. Like whatever you own, whether it's your body, your relationship, how you walk into something. That autonomy is your equity.
Wow.
I mean, Goop.
Hello.
I'm Goop.
Mimi.
I'm Goop. I'm Goop, gathered and blessed, baby. Gooped, gathered and blessed. It's done. And on that note,
you guys, we shared so much, and it had been too many things.
Way too many things. So let's be Dawn, honey.
Dawn, you're too many things.
Too many things. Together.
Y'all are funny. At my core, though, I'm your friend, and I love y'all. And if you ever need anything, please always call me. I want to be a part of your lives for always. I love y'all very dearly, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for you.
I love you too.
I love you too.
And I cannot say like that.
And I need to see you as soon as you're in LA.
Handle all of that, but they're good now. So like, trust me, when I say I'm coming to you, and we got work to do. So it's not,
Dawn,
trust me,
you.
we're good.
We love you so much.